Hello, hello. I'm Jacqueline Twilly, and thanks for joining me for day 4 of our series of Know Your Value, Negotiate What You're Worth so that you don't leave any money on the table. If this is the first video that you're watching, pause. Go back and watch the first 3 because in those videos we covered knowing your value and knowing how to speak to it, understanding the market rate, and the most important 3-letter word in my vocabulary, ASK. If you don't ask, you will not receive. Don't think that if you work really, really hard, someone's going to notice and they're going to put you on that assignment or give you that promotion or raise. You have to ask for it, all right? So today we're talking about how to determine if you should accept or walk away from an offer. In technical negotiation language, we have this term called Batna. And the Batna stands for the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. So you really want to establish your Batna before you get into the negotiation. How do you do that? Well, you want to make a list of your alternatives. So what are your alternatives to this, whether it's a job interview or promotion, a new job, or a business deal? What are the alternatives for you, okay? Research from the Harvard Business Review in 2018 told us that even if you don't have an alternative, but you imagine that there are alternatives, you are more likely to come out with a better deal. And that's simply because you're not making a decision out of desperation. I cannot tell you how many dozens of women I've worked with over the years who were in a position at work where it was really stressful, intense, and they just needed to get out of there. Well, what happens is when you make a decision based out of desperation, you just need a new job, or you haven't worked in like 2 months, and I understand you need the cash flow. But what happens is without understanding the alternatives and understanding that maybe you're not getting the best deal, a person will find themselves right back in the job search 6 months later. We know how hard a job search can be and how long it takes. So it's better to finish out the full process and make sure that you're looking at all of your options fairly and objectively and not out of an act of desperation so that you don't have to start this whole process again in a few months, all right? So next to understanding your alternatives, you also want to be clear about what you want to get out of this opportunity and making sure that you've expressed that to the other party in the appropriate manner. Now, when you get an offer, whether it's a job offer, an offer for a promotion, or an offer to do business with a new client, don't just accept right away, even if you think it's exactly what you want. Why? Because you gotta see it in black and white. So what I tell my clients is, when you get that verbal offer, express enthusiasm and excitement and make sure you say something like this. And you can use your own words, but say something to the effect of, I'm really excited. I can't wait to review this in writing. I can get back to you in a couple of days and we can move forward. This is great news. So when you say it like that, you let them know that you're excited to move forward, but most importantly, you want them to understand that you need to review it in black and white before you move forward. Because if it's not written in black and white, it didn't happen. A lot of times people have accepted verbal offers and left something out of the written part of the offer, and then that manager or supervisor gets a promotion or raise, or they go out on leave, or something happens and it's time for you to get that opportunity, and guess what? If it's not in black and white, it didn't happen. So you want to give yourself the opportunity to review everything in writing before you decide to accept or walk away. Now, in the case where you may have to walk away, you want to do so graciously. Never burn a bridge and don't ghost anyone. So if for some reason you counter offer and they come back and they can't give you what you've asked for, let them know that you admire them and respect them, and if the opportunity presents itself, you would love to revisit this conversation in the future. And on a high note, okay, every industry is so small and people talk. So, and you never know if that company is going to get the extra money to hire you in a few months. So always exit on a high note. Thanks for joining me for this 4-part series. If you have any questions, make sure you drop your questions into the Power Banking Facebook group. This is where I hang out. I'll be answering all of your questions. And guess what? There's more coming. So if you have not downloaded the free negotiation checklist, you want to head over to my website, JacquelineSwilly.com, to download that free checklist, and it's going to help you whether you're going up for your performance review, a new job, a business deal. We cover all the bases in that negotiation checklist, okay? Just like a pilot prepares for each flight, I need you to prepare for every negotiation so that you don't leave any money on the table. And if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, send me a direct message and we'll schedule a consultation to figure out what's the best negotiation strategy for your situation. Until next time, keep emulating excellence and eliminating excuses.